Do you or your friends want to know how to make a 223? Take it from the bench, put it in your gun, and shoot it? We're going to show you how to do it. And that's how you're going to save money. Hi out there in SIGT land. This is Randy, your favorite admin. I'm here to show you what it takes to make a 223 happen. There was some talk on the page about it not working very well. It takes a long time. It's all this stuff. It takes too much time. But I want to show you what it really takes to do it, and you can actually save money by making your own 223. So I've got my 223 die set up here in my single stage press. I have a 550 Dillon, but I choose to use the single stage press more just because of the complexity of the 223 and what you have to do to make it work. So this is just a random case I picked off my thing. Now some of this brass here is already been shot brass. Some of it's fresh brass that I picked up off the ground at a range. Some of it's mixed, so I don't know what's going to actually come across the press. But I'm going to put it in the press. I run it up. I got my little priming tool here. I check it with the micrometer. Now what I check my micrometer at is 1.760. That's my trim length. So it passes the mic check. Most likely this case has actually been shot already by me. Actually, it's a Lake City brass. You probably can't see it on the bottom there, but those are usually crimped for priming. I've already probably deburred this, took the crimp out, that type of stuff, so that's why this kind of makes it over. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run through a bunch of these and see if I hit a bad one and what I do with my bad ones. I didn't set my priming thing up very well because I'm almost out of primers. Hopefully I'll hit a bad one before I get to that point. That passed. And as you can see, it's going pretty quick. Once you get a good stash of already shot brass, you can rock these out pretty quick. And okay, I hit a bad one. Alright, we'll take a look at it. Okay, I don't know if you can see that very well, but the primer's punched out of it. This is actually a Lake City brass. It actually has the crimp already in it, and it doesn't meet that 1.760 spec. So I pitched it off to the side here to later trim that case down. I'm going to show you that here in a minute, and we can go over that stage. I'm going to run my primers out. I'll show you how to refill a primer if no one's ever seen it before. It's pretty interesting in case you want to get into reloading. This is kind of some of the stuff you're going to end up doing. So I'm checking all these, micing them down, making sure that they've already been trimmed or they don't need to be trimmed again, because on your bottleneck cases they'll actually grow. Alright, I ran out of primers. I'm going to grab the big primers over here. I'll show you what it takes to put the primers in the case. My little auto prime tool here by Lee. Pop the tool open here. Alright. Have it so that the primer tray is flipped upside down. We carefully get them all out so we're not spilling it everywhere. Alright, so you're going to notice all the primers are jumbled up in there, all kind of goofy looking. So we give it a shake. And the thing that's nice about the primers is you'll notice they actually flip over on their own because of the little buttons, this little groove down here that's a little rough. So now we got them all facing the right direction. We can put our cap back on. We rock it down in there, fill up the little sleeve that's in there so there's enough primers, and then we're back off and running. Run our tool up here, press that down, and we're back off and running. Alright, I'll going to stop right here. Probably going to be a quick jump in the video, but I'm going to be back over on the trimming station, and I'll show you how to set that up and run those out. Thanks. Alright, we're back, and I'm going to be trimming this 223 brass down. This is part of my video of showing you how the 223 is made, and kind of just a recap of what we've been doing is the time that it takes to do it if you have it set up right. Like this little trim gauge and that type of stuff, it doesn't take long to trim these down. So I'm going to trim out a couple of these. These are the leftover 223s from the press that were too long, and I'm going to trim them down, and I'm going to show you the process of taking that, and then hopefully this will help you decide if you want to start making 223s instead of buying them. Like I said before on the page, that the 223s I make here is about $4 a box of 20 as opposed to 6 or 7, and these are brass, you know, a lot better for your gun. So this is already set up. This gauge is already set up, and you can see how it slides, and this is a lock ring that holds back the trim head, and this only trims to a certain amount. I've already measured out and set this gauge, and I'm just going to rock through a few of these. So I got the drill set up here on this just to make it go a little bit quicker and show you how quick this process can be. So there we did a few, but as you can see here is you can see how it flared the mouth out, and then it also flared the inside out a little bit. This is the start, this is the finish, and what you got to do is take a deburring tool and rotate it around, take those burrs off of there, and you got your nice finished piece of brass. And then this is ready to reload. I still got a punch of primer in there, and I think some of these need the primer pocket burred out too, because these are the Lake City brass and they have that crimp pocket, and that would just be a couple quick turns of that and it'd be ready for a primer. So I'm gonna set this up, and I'll be back and show you how I can deburr and take the primer pockets out and do all that stuff a little bit quicker. Alright, I'm here. I'm going to be doing this in a faster step. I've got all my 223 here. It's been trimmed, and I've got that burr on there still, and then I'm still dealing with some of the crimps on the Lake City brass. So I've just got this set up, so a little bit of a speed thing going on. I chucked up my deburring tool inside my drill press. If you don't have a drill press, RCBS makes a trim kit, and I think they're $100 and something bucks, and then it does pretty much everything this does, but better, because you have all the stations all in one. So I'm going to flip the machine on here, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm checking to see if they've got the crimp, and then I'm going to trim it out. So that's the crimp pocket. And then this is just the internal trim. I'm still going to have to go back and I'll flip the bit around and do the external. Alright, pocket, in, and And I'm only doing it for just a split second because you don't want to take off too much material, you'll ruin your piece of brass. Most of the ones that I've found I have to trim is the ones I haven't shot before, and those are the Lake City brass. Now that's one I've shot before that it just happened to grow. And your brass will grow because of the bottleneck case. But see, it's just a really quick process. Alright, I'm going to work through these and then I'll be back in a sec. Alright, we're back. I already did the insides of the brass there, and I did the primer pockets on the back side to make sure that they were deburred, decrimped or whatever, and now I'm going to do the outside ring. If you look here, this is the Finger Masher of Death 3-prong finger killer. So this is, we got to be extra careful. This is a little bit dangerous, so I use my top here as an armrest so I don't get up too high, and just put enough pressure so I'm not slipping and coming all the way up. So it's just a little bit of wrist pressure. It's always good to know where your hands are going to go in case of an accident. Alright, watch this demon spin up here. Oh yeah, finger eating abilities. See? Nice and clean now. Do a couple of those. This is where the RCBS case prep station comes in handy, because you don't have any finger masters of death in that situation. This is just something I have on hand, and because I've got a drill press handy and I don't want to spend an extra $100 and something for a prep station, this is what I do. Alright, we'll work through those, and then I'll be back when I'm ready to make the rest trimmed down, cleaned up nice and neat all the way around. We went through, put primers back in. I showed you that in the first step. And now we're going to put the powder in. I got my powder measured out. I'm using 10X here from Hodgdon. And I think I'm doing 21.9 grains, pushing a 55 grain Hornady Full Metal Jacket bullet. So I'll show you that process here. I've got my press already set up for my length. I don't know what I put the length in at, but I think the overall length is 2.220. I've already got cases measured out, and I set them all to that depth. I insert my powder measure, lift up, dump the powder, give it a second to dump. I put my bullet in. This is the best part. Bam! Look at that. Awesome. Ready to rock and roll. We just load that up in a mag and try those out. I'm going to punch out a couple of these, and then we'll go to the next step. And now we're making bullets. You can see after you get through all the little steps, it doesn't take no time at all to get a bunch of bullets made. Alright, and that's it. So if you want any more information or anything else, just leave me a message or whatever, and we can go over the different processes of maybe setting up your depth, or If you want to know anything about the presses or anything else like that, leave comments, questions, that type of stuff, and I'll answer them. Thank you.